Welcome to another message from Citizen Heights. We are located in the nation's capital, where our heart is to inspire hope, remove limitations, and help you experience God's possible for your life. Join Pastors Michael and Heather Giroux in their passion to help you live your best life. We hope you enjoy today's encouraging and uplifting message.
I'm excited about this series. We're going to go to Genesis 40, verse 1, so you can get there in your Bible or on your phone. We'll have it on the screen for you if you don't have something to go to immediately. But Genesis 41 is where we are going to start. But to recap what we've talked about so far in this series, we are studying the life of Joseph, doing a little character study. And what we're finding is Joseph has a crazy life. We're finding there's a ton of ups and a ton of downs. We started off with, of course, seeing Joseph get this amazing dream from God. He gets this amazing dream, and he does what you should never do, and that's tell everybody. He tells all his brothers. He has 1 million brothers. He tells his parents, and his brothers get jealous, so what do? They fake his death, throw him into a pit, and slight overreaction, sell him into slavery. His first horrible experience. Here we go. Right off the bat, that's how his story starts. And then we learned from Caden last week, we talked about the portion of his story where he is serving his way up through Potiphar's house after he gets sold into slavery. Potiphar, who's an official for Pharaoh, buys Joseph, and Joseph serves his way up in Potiphar's house, but then is falsely accused and thrown into prison. So we're back into a bad season. We're back into a pit season. And I don't know about you, but have you ever felt disconnected, forgotten, lonely? Anybody? Joseph is in a season of feeling forgotten. He's in a season of, God, I've had dreams. I have goals. I want to do A, B, C, and D. I thought you had this for me. But every single time I take one step forward, I take 5 steps back. Anybody ever felt that before? He's feeling forgotten, and he's feeling far from God. For me, growing up, I have 3 brothers. It's Caden, me, Owen, Easton, okay? And this is back in 2010. We lived in Leesburg, Virginia at the time. And in 2010, if you lived here or anywhere in the East Coast, you know it, it was Snowmageddon, okay? It was 4 feet of snow here. It was brutal. My parents are from upstate New York, so they're used to it. Okay, when I say like upstate New York, I mean like 5 miles from the border of Canada. Don't go there. There's no reason to go there. No offense. Snow, like 8 months of the year, just straight snow. We're not used to that. I've been born and raised here. We're in Virginia. Snow's 4 feet. It was awesome. Me and my brothers are so excited. We're playing around. We're between the ages of like 6 and 10, basically, the 3 of us. Easton was hardly alive. I don't even think he was 1 yet. He was like a newborn. Yeah, okay. He was a newborn. So me, Caden, and Owen, we are just hanging out, having a blast in the snow. We are hardly tall enough and big enough to see over the snow. Like, I'm not even kidding. I remember my mom stopping Owen. He's the 3rd. Stopping Owen because we had to shovel it out because Owen would have died. Like, he couldn't breathe. Like, straight up. It's 4 feet of snow, and we're like little kids. Like, he was ready to go, and they stopped him. But we're playing around in the yard, okay? We're in Leesburg, which means there is a yard. So we're hanging out, playing in the yard, and if you can imagine it and visualize it with me, okay, you're looking at the front of the house, and on the left of the house is this, like, ramp up to the back porch area, okay? The back deck, I should say. And there's a metal railing going up the ramp, and the house had a ravine, so it goes like, the ramp goes really high. And we're like, there's so much snow, we can climb up the railing and jump off. And we did it for hours. So we just literally, there's no object or point system to this game. Me, Kate, and Owen just climbed up the outside of the railing and jumped backwards for hours. It was so much fun. So we just kept doing it over and over and over again. And we're climbing up, and like I said, the railing is metal. So it's icy and slippery. So what we're doing is with the little spokes in the railing, we're like sticking our feet in the spokes as we climb up, and then we're jumping backwards. if you can envision that. And so I'm going up for my 100th time. At this point, it's just me and Caden. I think Owen is inside, and I'm sticking my feet in the spokes once again, and I'm going to jump. I jump backwards, and everything's normal except my right foot doesn't come out of the fence. Now, just to preface, it wasn't some ugly, gross injury. I didn't like snap my ankle or something. Luckily, when I jumped, it turned slightly, so it was bent. Like I rolled my ankle basically, but I was dangling like upside down. Back hits the ramp. I'm just dangling upside down, like high up, screaming in pain. I'm crying. I think I'm 9 at the time or 8 at the time, and I need help. I'm like screaming, Caden, help me. Now, Caden just jumped before me, so he's in the snow. But once again, it's 4 feet of snow. Caden is like 10 years old or something. It takes a while to walk through it. So he's like trying his best, walking through it, going as fast as possible. I'm like screaming, I'm crying. My tears are freezing to my forehead because it's like dripping down. It's a blizzard outside. I feel like Luke Skywalker in the cave, completely upside down. And I'm like, I'm disoriented. I can't see much. I'm just like, please help me, please help me, please help me. It's hurting. So he gets up the ramp finally. And there's no obvious thing to do. I need Caden to relieve the weight that I'm feeling. And so he just is like, I'm going to just kick his ankle. So he's just kicking my ankle over and over and over and over again. I don't move at all. Like my ankle is securely in the fence. And so I'm like, you gotta go get dad or something. So he's like, okay, I'll go get dad. And so he goes down the ramp again, slow moving, and it's a bigger yard. It takes a second to get to the front door. And so he's moving, and I just remember slowly him disappearing in the blizzard, and I'm like, I'm gonna die. Like he's gonna forget. He's gonna see like mom made a snack, and he's gonna start eating the snack. Like he might not find my dad. I'm going to die here. So I'm just like, frozen tears on my forehead. It's a horror. I'm lonely. I'm forgotten. And the weight is still on my ankle and it's killing me, right? We all have a season like that, right? Maybe not literally like that. Hopefully you didn't go through that. But we all, I know that's silly, we all walk through things like this, seasons like this where we're stuck, where we cannot move. We need God to relieve a weight, but we need help. And we rely on people. We rely on ourselves, our finances, whatever it is, and only God can do it. We're finding Joseph in a prison and in a place where he needs God. He's forgotten. He feels like he's in that doubt season. He's in that, where is God? Is he really here to help me? Is he really going to take the weight of the situation that I'm in? My dad was able to help me out. He was obviously tall enough. He wasn't a child, so he could stand up and lift me, and he took the weight, and I was better. He was able to relieve the pain and take the weight, and he picked me up. When you get stuck, you need a God who can get you unstuck. In our passage today, Joseph is stuck. He's wondering, have I been forgotten? This is for somebody today. Joseph's story reminds us of something, and I want to start just right away with where we're going. And the lesson we're learning from this passage specifically is that God prepares us in the prison before he promotes us to the palace. That the prison season is preparation time. The title of my message today, if you're taking notes, is Prison and Promotion from Forgotten to Favored. Let's start out by reading our text in Genesis 40, verse 1. Read with me. It'll be on the screen. It says, sometime later, the cupbearer and the baker of King Pharaoh, he was mad at them. They offended Pharaoh. So Pharaoh was angry with the two officials, it says, and he sent them in custody in the house of the captain of the guard in the same prison where Joseph was confined. Now let's stop here for a second, because we don't know how long Joseph's been in prison up to this point. It doesn't tell us. But it's been long enough for him to once again, Joseph, find favor in the eyes of leadership. He found favor in the eyes of the captain of the guard enough to where, look at the next verse, the captain of the guard assigned them to Joseph and he attended them. Joseph was a prisoner, but now he's attending royal prisoners. Now he's worked his way up to where he's not just in prison, but now he's helping out the captain of the guard. He's helping out with other prisoners. He's doing this thing that he always does, and he has this X factor where no matter where he's dropped, no matter what situation he's in, whatever season of life, he has the favor of God on him. And when God is with you, you have the favor of God on you. It doesn't matter what your world looks like. It doesn't matter what the percentages are or what other people expect out of you. He had favor. He had favor. He kept rising to the top in every situation. Nobody could stop it. People can't stop the favor that God has on you. Joseph's in prison, but God's favor continues to establish him over and over and over again. So, let's keep reading in verse 4. After they've been in custody for some time, the two men, the cupbearer and the baker, they had a dream the same night, and each of the dream had a meaning of its own, it says. And Joseph came to them the next morning. He saw they were dejected, so he asked, why do you look sad today? I think that's interesting. Like, Caden's whole message last week was on how Joseph was excellent in how he served. How he could have cut this corner. He doesn't have to attend to them like this. He doesn't have to wonder why they're sad. They're prisoners. Just make sure they get what they need. Make sure they got their food. Make sure they're going through what they need to go through. Make sure everything's on time. Like, he doesn't need to pastor them. He just needs to do what he needs to do as someone who's attending them. And instead, he sees they're dejected, and he asks the question, why are you sad? He didn't have to do that. But if he didn't do that, he would have missed his promotion. Why do you look so sad? We both had dreams, they answered, but there's no one to interpret them. So Joseph said to them, do not interpretations belong to God? Tell me your dreams. Tell me your dreams. What do we learn from Joseph's journey specifically here? What do we need to take away from this point of the passage? Our first essential that we see today is, number one, keep trusting God. I love the amens. And I know for some of you, you're like, I wanted something more profound. Like, we're in church, keep trusting God. Well, Genesis 40, once again, right? Joseph, to establish where we're at, he's in prison, of course. He's been betrayed. He's been put into slavery. He's falsely accused. He has every reason in my mind to give up. I don't know about you. You don't agree with me. But he's had a tough time here. He's been faithful. He's served. He's done all the right things. And he keeps getting pushed out. He keeps getting pushed into the valley instead of the mountaintop. Over and over and over again. Yet when the cupbearer and the baker are troubled because of their dreams, Joseph says, God interprets dreams. Tell me your dreams. Like, I'm ready to go. Genesis 40 verse 8 says that. Do not interpretations belong to God? Tell me your dreams. You see, Joseph's circumstances changed, but his trust in God didn't. His circumstances shifted. It was not positive. It was definitely negative, but his trust in God did not change. You know, once again, I don't know about you, but I would have understood if he was discouraged. I would have totally understood if he was disillusioned. I would have totally understood, like, if he was like, you know, God, I trusted you, and look at where it got me again. Look where I'm at. No more. I'm not following you anymore. But Joseph didn't allow his current season to unseat the vision of who God was in his life. He didn't let it. He knew who God was. It was a firm foundation so he could stand on it when things were shaky. Church, when life becomes unstable, we got to cling to who is. We got to cling to who's stable, who's unchanging, who's unwavering. The faithfulness, the goodness of God, that has to be what we cling to. Jesus never promised that we would avoid trouble. He never promised that we would avoid the hard times, the prison season, the pit season. He never promised that we wouldn't have that lonely feeling, that there wouldn't be those seasons of being stuck. What he promised was that he would be there for us in it. John 16:33, this is my favorite verse in the Bible. It says, in this world, Jesus said, you will have trouble. You will have trouble, but take heart because I've already overcome it. I can overcome that situation in your marriage. I can overcome that situation in your life, the financial issue, the health issue, the issues with your kid. I can overcome it. I'm walking with you. A storm does not mean God is absent. We are going to keep trusting God. Amen, church? A delay doesn't mean God is inactive. We will keep trusting God, church. A prison doesn't mean God is finished. We're going to keep trusting God. Can I get an amen? We're going to keep trusting God because God prepares us before he promotes us. And if we can trust him in the preparation process, then we reach the promotion status. And that's what we all want, right? But we got to get through the preparation. God knows how to position us. He knows how to purify us. He will promote us. We just got to get through that. Keep trusting God. You hear me? You with me? Number 2, keep serving God. Keep serving God. This is my favorite point. I love this part. Joseph not only trusted God, but he stayed on mission for God. He continued to see that it wasn't just, I'm going to feel bad for myself or I'm going to give up on this. I'm going to keep staying consistent and serving the mission that God has. He served in his father's house, was sold into slavery. He served in Potiphar's house, was thrown into prison. We see Joseph now in prison doing the same thing he always does, and it's serving. It's saying, I'm going to keep my eyes on the Lord. I'm not going to look at where I'm at now, what my situation is. I'm not going to listen to what the world says or feel bad for myself. I'm going to keep serving the Lord. Joseph goes on to interpret the cupbearer's dream. Think about this for a minute. Joseph is living in constant reminder of how his dreams never came to pass. Like, I don't know how long you've followed your walk with God. I don't know if you are a Christian or not. We're glad you're here regardless. But there's these things that happen when you say yes to Jesus, when you go on this journey of reading the Bible and living your life for Jesus, is you have these moments that are marking moments for your life. They're moments that mark you and change who you are. And Joseph, when he had his dream way back originally in the beginning of the story, it was not just some dumb dream he had at night while he was sleeping. It was a God dream that changed his perspective on who he was. There was no reason for Joseph to believe he was going to be royal. He was just a middle class, like suburban family. He was not connected in any royal bloodline, had no opportunities. He was the runt of the litter, like the youngest of all his brothers. There was no reason for him to have the dream he had. It was a God dream, and he believed it because God marked his life and his heart to have the grace and the belief for it. But he's now in this place where he's in a constant reminder of, I'm not where I'm supposed to be. But yet, when the baker and the cupbearer have the dream, he still steps in. When your dreams are dead or dying, but you're still serving someone else into their dreams, that's crazy. That is not human nature. That is godly nature inside of us when he enters into our lives. When we say, I'm not called to what I think I should have, I'm called to what God has for me. And this is where I'm at, I'm going to serve God. This is where he's put me, I'm going to serve him faithfully. You got a dream, I'm going to help you. That's amazing. Maybe you and I could serve for a week, could serve for a month, could serve until, we got noticed to serve until we got the promotion, could serve until we got, the visual from our boss that said, yeah, you can have the promotion, you can have the raise, you can have the new title. Maybe serving was the way out for us. But Joseph was serving not as a means to an end, but get this, Joseph was serving as a means to endure his current season. That's crazy. It was his lifeline. His lifeline was not complaining. His lifeline was not feeling bad for himself. His lifeline was not being a victim. That's against the word of God. His lifeline was, I'm going to serve faithfully regardless. That's amazing, church. What if we served like it was our calling? Like it was how we lived our life. Like it was how we have our being. Jesus said, the Son of Man did not come to be served, but what? To serve. He came to serve. And that's our call. We're here to serve, right, church? We see this in Joseph's life, not just because he interprets the dreams, but because he asks one thing. He interprets these dreams of the cupbearer and the baker, and he says, I just want one thing. Remember me. Just remember me. How does that work out? Verse 23 of our passage says, the chief cupbearer, however, did not remember Joseph. He forgot him. Here we go again. People failing Joseph again. People forgetting him again. Constantly. I'm forgotten. I'm a God. Do you still love me? Are you still seeing me? This is us, guys. Church, we're in these seasons sometimes. But he kept serving. He was forgotten by the baker, but he kept serving. 2 years pass. 2 years pass, and Pharaoh has this dream. And remember, the cupbearer he's established to his position as cupbearer for Pharaoh. So he's around Pharaoh all the time. He hears what's going on in Pharaoh's life all the time. Pharaoh has this dream. Pharaoh starts trying to get help from these mediums, these psychics, these witches. The Bible goes on and on about it, and nothing's working. Nobody can give him an answer. What are these dreams? And the cupbearer goes, light bulb. 2 years later, I remember a guy. Genesis 41, verse 9. Then the chief cupbearer said to Pharaoh, now a young Hebrew was there in prison with us. We told him our dreams. He interpreted them for us. Things turned out exactly as he interpreted them to us. So what did Pharaoh do? He sent for Joseph, and he was quickly brought from the dungeon. Guys, there's no shelf life on serving God. There is no expiration date or limit on what God can do when you serve. And get this is big. If the cupbearer remembered Joseph when Joseph asked 2 years prior, Joseph might have gotten out of the prison, but he would have missed the palace because there was no need for him. You see, Joseph's calling was not the cupbearer, it was Pharaoh. His calling was not just to get out of prison. His calling was to get to the palace. Keep serving, keep serving, keep serving. That's our call. Amen, church? 1 Peter 5:6, humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, so that he may lift you up in due time. See, not your time, not my time, God's time. And I know that's challenging. But God isn't just preparing your future. God is preparing you for your future. And he is using the prison season, the stuck season, the forgotten season to reestablish character traits, to strengthen you and get you ready for your future. I don't know about you, but sometimes I ask God, why haven't you gotten me out of this yet? Why am I still stuck here? Why are they forgetting me? Why are they not seeing what I'm doing? What is the issue, God? Why am I still in this season? And I think God, what he says to me in those moments, what he's saying to us this morning is, I'm using the situation to change you. So I can't just get you out of it. I can't fast track you out of it. I need you to grow from it so that you can do what I've called you to do. Wait on the Lord, trust the Lord, serve the Lord. Number 3, my final point. Keep growing the gifts God gave you. See, in the middle of prison, Joseph continued using the gift God gave him. He continued to do it. Even though he was in prison, he continued to do it. It says in Genesis 40, verse 9, so the chief cupbearer told Joseph the dream. This is what his dream was. He said, in my dream, I saw a vine in front of me. In the vine, there's 3 branches connected to it. I'm going to skip down. This is what it means, Joseph said. The 3 branches are 3 days. Within 3 days, Pharaoh will lift up your head and restore you to your position. I read that to say Joseph could have said, I'll use my gift when I get out of prison. I'll use my gift and be faithful once things get better, once God deserves, that kind of treatment from me. But he didn't. The gift God gave Joseph, the gift God gave you is not yours, it's God's, and it's yours to steward. Church, God's given every single person in this room a gift. A gift to steward, a gift to use. See, your gift matters, your calling matters, your obedience and stewardship to that gift matters. The calling and the people that you are supposed to reach, that I will never reach, that person will never reach, that you're called to people. You have influence. We need people who are trusting God, serving God, and people who haven't given up on other people. Your gift of encouragement and your gift of giving, your gift of faith is needed in your family, in your workplace, in this church, in our nation, in our city. It's needed. It's easy to read the Bible because we know what happens, right? For us, a 2-year trial season is a chapter of the Bible. See, Joseph got to Pharaoh. He got put in front of Pharaoh, but first he was put in front of 2 prisoners who were nobodies, who couldn't get him to the next place, who couldn't promote him. They weren't worth his time, but they were, because that was his preparation season. He got to Pharaoh, but first there were 2 prisoners. This story teaches us that faithfulness in private has to happen before we get any influence in public. And when Joseph finally stands before Pharaoh, he gives God the credit, which is weird. Because Pharaoh doesn't believe in God. Pharaoh's not a Christian. Pharaoh's not looking for help from God. Pharaoh's looking for help from Joseph, the guy he heard that interpreted dreams. Joseph finally has the moment. I'm in front of Pharaoh. This is the only guy that can wipe out all the things connected to my name. His life was, basically Joseph doesn't exist. His brothers faked his death. He's dead. Then he was a slave. Then he was convicted of sexual assault wrongfully and thrown into prison. He's done. He's done. He has no future. The dreams that marked him, they're not coming to pass anymore, Joseph. Too many things are connected to you now. And the one guy that can erase it, Pharaoh, is in front of him. He has the audience of Pharaoh, and Pharaoh tells him his dream, and Pharaoh asks, can you help me? And you know what Joseph says? No, I can't. But God can. Because he can't promote himself. People can't promote him. Only God can. Only God can. Our gift makes room for God to move, and it makes room for God to promote us. Pharaoh promotes Joseph to finish our story. Genesis 41:41. I hereby put you in charge of the whole land of Egypt. Then Pharaoh took off his signet ring, put it on his finger. He dressed him in fine robes of linen and put gold chain around his neck. Joseph went from prison to palace. And not just that, that would have been good enough. That would have been, man, only God could do this. I went from nothing to the palace. He went from prison to second in command. He went from stuck to there's nobody above me but Pharaoh. He was forgotten, but was found by God and established by God to be the most powerful person in Egypt other than Pharaoh. What a promotion. What a promotion. The prison, it was never Joseph's final destination, but it was necessary. It was a necessary step for his preparation. Maybe today you feel stuck. Maybe you feel stuck and forgotten. Maybe you're like, Gavin, I'm feeling way more prison than promotion in my life. I feel stuck and forgotten. I'm in that point in my life right now where I'm doubting God. I'm questioning the call. I'm questioning the dreams. I'm questioning the marriage. I'm questioning what's going on with my kids. I'm questioning, will he really come through in this diagnosis? Will he really come through in this tough time in my business or my employment? Will he really do it? And I want to encourage you today that the same God that was with Joseph in prison is with you this morning. That God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And God is faithful to his promises. Can you use the preparation season as preparation? People may forget you, people may overlook you, but God's faithful. He's faithful to his promises. I want you to stand to your feet right now. And this is what I want to do. I want to call our prayer team forward right now. So our prayer team is going to come right here at the front. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to go back into worship. And we're going to worship. And what I want you to do is, if you're in a stuck, forgotten season, just so you know, that's everybody. Everybody goes through that. But if you're currently in one, and you need God to take the weight finally. You need God to lift the weight. You need God to reestablish some dreams and some things in your life. You need God to take over what you feel like the enemy's taken over. You need God to take some more ground in your life that you feel like you've given up. You're tired by doing it by yourself. You're tired from leaning on the world and leaning on other people that keep forgetting you, that keep walking away from you. I believe some of you just need a worship, some of you need some prayer. So right now, we're going to go into this song, and I want you to come forward for prayer, and I want you to worship. And I want you to really lay what that season is, what that dream is, what that calling is, whatever that has been challenging, the doubt, I want you to lay it at his feet. Can you worship?
If you just made the decision to make Jesus the Lord of your life, it's the best decision you will ever make. Don't let what started today end today. Here are a few next steps on your journey of faith. Join us next Sunday. We can't wait to meet you. You can join us in person at 9:30 a.m. and 11:30 a.m. at our Tenleytown campus every Sunday. When you join us, fill out a connection card, get your free gift and a free Bible so you can get growing in God. Engage in community as you take your next steps of faith. We invite you to join a citizen group, attend our church class, which happens on the first Sunday of each month, and to join the team where you can invest your gifts and make a difference in the lives of others. If you're looking for other encouraging messages from the Bible, you can find us on YouTube, visit our website or app, or listen to us on your preferred podcast platform. Possible awaits.